Welcome back to the Street Photography Magazine podcast. I'm Bob Patterson, founder of the Street Photography Magazine, former publisher. And with us today is the actual current real publisher, Ashley Riffo. So, Ashley, how are you? What's going on?
Doing good.
What's
Not
going
too
on?
much. Everything's going good for the moment, so
For the moment, that's good. That's spoken like the mom of a toddler.
yes, things
Yeah,
can
that's
change at
right.
any second.
Yeah, we've got a very interesting guest who does some really cool work today. Kantaya New. She lives in Singapore, right?
Yes,
That's right. You've lived a number of places,
yes.
and mainly in Asia. And well, you're going to learn all about what she does. So, Kantaya, welcome. Thanks for being with us and dealing with a big time difference.
Thank you so much, Bob
Yeah.
and Ashley. Thank you for your time and thank you for waking up early for me too.
I think we're both up pretty early. I
Yeah.
think. You get up early?
Yeah, I'm up early, just like normal photographer, chasing after the light.
That's right. That's right. So, Kantaya, you just do some really interesting work. We'll get into that. But before we do, why don't you just tell us how you got started in this? What captured your interest and how you got to where you are today.
Okay, my story kind of weird, I feel, because I start off from nothing because I originally was not interested in photography. I used to carry parasol, walking outside outdoor all the time. I was afraid of the sun. So photography was the last thing that I was interested. Only one day that when I and my husband was living in Tokyo, his ex-boss visited us, and then he was so passionate about photography, and something was just click. After he left, I ended up with a first time full frame mirrorless camera, and from there it just keep moving.
Wow. He was a good salesman for photography, that guy.
Well, he's the boss.
I don't know about that.
How long ago was that, Kantaya? How long have you been photographing?
Because that time I got a camera, but I did not really know how to use. I got it in, I think, 2016, but I just left it there only up until I went for free class to learn how to operate the camera. After that, maybe 1 or 2 years later, then I start walking into how to use it, and it just clicked from there. And I just keep chasing for the passion from photography.
Wow.
Well, it shows. So yeah, I saw that you lived in Tokyo. I was just there a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
It should be quite interesting place for everyone.
It sure is. I kept getting lost. This guy Gene, we always get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
But now it's considered much better because last time when I was living there, when I first studied there, when I said, "Excuse me," you know what first thing they do? They ran without thinking. They're scared of English.
Where did you live there? What?
I lived there 2 times when I was studying. And after that,
Yeah.
I lived when my husband got posted there. We live in Tokyo.
But we're in Tokyo.
When we study, we live somewhere near Shinjuku.
Did you?
When he was posted there, we live near Minato Ward.
Well, I just wrote an article about getting lost, and it took place. It started in Shinjuku.
I can help if you need.
Yeah, we got dropped off. We were supposed to be dropped off at Shinjuku Station, but we weren't. And I asked the guide, I said, where is it? And she just pointed down there. And it took us quite a while to actually find it. Biggest train station in the world.
Well, if you ask Tokyo people, the way they talk is quite short and cold, a bit cold. But when you ask
Really?
Osaka people, they will use the sound like words like zone, something like like a sound. Instead of go straight, they will use a sound like words. I'm not good at Osaka languages, but I heard how they speak. You will hear, "Ooh, that's funny."
Oh, really? That's really, but
Getting directions in a place you're not from is always interesting, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we were in Shinjuku Station. We were lost. Well, we thought we were trying to find the red line because we had to get to Ginza. And, it's just so huge. And we obviously looked bewildered, and this young guy stopped us and he said, "Are you lost? Can I help you?" And he took us, he went a different direction and took us where we needed to go and went back to what he was doing. And this is a rush hour. Everybody's so busy there.
You are
So
lucky.
that was very nice. Very
You're
nice.
very lucky.
Yeah. You must have looked really scared.
No, I wasn't scared. I don't mind getting lost, but just befuddled. Anyway, well, this isn't about me. This is about you. Anyway, I forgot to mention when I introduced you. You're obviously a street photographer and a conceptual photographer.
Yes.
And for those who don't know what conceptual photography is, why don't you tell us a little about it?
Photography is completely different from street because you plan, you set up
Mhm.
the scene and you shoot it. Whereas street, you can plan what you want to shoot, but the rest, you let it run naturally. So you capture what is there. This one is I construct based on my idea.
And do you do that? I mean, is it just for your own enjoyment or do you do it for clients?
I did for two. One I did for collaboration, and the other one I did to express what I want to do. I did some projects about my things, myself, and a boy to give some slight expression.
Yeah, I really liked the project The Odd One Out,
Oh, thank you.
which is kind of
Yes.
yeah, I felt like I related to your little description of it, how you've lived so many places that when people say, "Where are you from?" It's like the first answer is, "Well, it's a long story." Like with my husband and I, we're from different countries, we've lived different places, so they say, "Where are you from?" And we always look at each other like, "Do you want to go?"
Yeah. Take
And
turns.
you've been so many places too. So I don't know, maybe you could tell us about that series. I really loved it.
The one out is actually not the conceptual, it's a street. Photography is about identity because I live in Japan, Thailand, because I'm originally from Thailand and now I'm living in Singapore. Wherever I go, they just ask me, where are you from? So wherever I live, I don't feel that I belong to that places. So I got lost, I mean mentally, because I don't know where I belong. And then so I just came out with this series because I just feel because I walk around my neighborhood when I walk, they just keep looking at me, staring at me, asking me questions. Then sometimes I feel, why are you here? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious because, like you say, your conceptual work is very planned out. I'm guessing your conceptual work always starts first with the idea, right?
Yes.
So with, for example, this series, it's certainly a concept, but did you shoot all of these photos before you had the idea? Or did you have the idea and then look for things on the street?
I have a few series. My first series, I start from shooting first and then it's run naturally. My first series is called The Little Prince. So I start off from meeting a little boy called Akung. So he was naturally humorous. So I enjoyed talking to him. I saw him, he was so expressive among 10 or more than 10 photographers. If you take a look at my series, the first time I met him was he was open his mouth in front of the mural. The mural is the frog running out. So he opened his mouth next to the frog. And then he was surrounded by more than 10 photographers. Everyone just shot him. I also shot. So that's where I met him. And then from there, I start slowly constructed the series with his mother to express reality and imagine.
Wow.
He is hilarious.
Yes, he's
I
very
think.
funny.
And he's not, when I saw him, I mean, he's just so consistently, like you say, impressive. I thought it must be a child actor that you hired for this series or
No,
something, but
he just act naturally. We didn't tell him
what a
what to do.
character.
Yeah, that's amazing. I thought maybe he was somebody you knew, like a friend of the family or a family member. But that's so fascinating. You just met him on the street.
Yes, yeah, I met him on the street. Then at the moment, I just scouted him. I fell in love with him.
Me too. And I've never met him. What a cute kid.
And the most amazing shot was there was a cement things on the floor. Then he climbed up and he said, I'm a bronze statue. So I just shot him to make him a bronze statue.
Wow. He's so imaginative.
Yes, he is.
That was like a collaboration with a kid. How often do you get to do that? Because kids have so much imagination, you know?
That was a first conceptual work that I did with kids. The rest is like more street photography, which is I just shoot them when they play around on the street. So that is completely
Mhm.
different. Whereas the current one that I'm doing is called A Modern Day Affair. I constructed from what I wanted to shoot first. First, I start from the message because it's about the phone usage and relationship. Because it start from my life. It's actually from my based on true story, from a crack in my marriage. So my husband is always on the phone, a lot of attention on the phone. So I'm trying to draw him back into my world by using what I know, photography.
So what does he think of this project?
Well, honestly, how I shoot is first, I put him in front of camera together with me, do a self-portrait in a funny
Mhm.
way, but yet I couldn't stop him from using the phone. So what I did next, I passed him the camera, asked him to shoot me. So that's why he put down his phone and looked at me.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So to him, when are you gonna stop?
And your answer is when you pay attention to me, right?
Yeah, right.
Wow. I love that. That's so personal to you, Kantaya, because I think
Yeah.
that's something probably the majority of people on this planet deal with at this moment in time.
Yes, when I shared this project or when it was on the wall in Singapore, I received a message. There was a passerby. He emailed me and said that at first he just laughed at the series because it's so funny. At the same time, at the end, he just feel that he come to pause and think of the phone usage because it's reflected in everyday how he use. I create this series just not for myself, it's for everyone to rethink back of how you use the phone and how it's affect to the person that you love or someone that is beside you when you use it. I've received quite a resonate message.
I can see
Yeah,
why.
it's something everybody faces
Yes.
today. I'm really curious about something. First of all, I love how your website is put together, and
Thank you.
it's just like your work itself. We've been doing this for over 13 years, and we look at a lot of work. By now, probably 1,000 people, wouldn't you say, Ashley, over the years?
Easily.
Your work is, I'm trying to describe it. It's so consistent, and your color is extraordinarily consistent across everything. And that shows up in the website, just the way you have it laid out. So many of them, including mine, are just all disorganized and all over the place. Yours is not at all, and you show very little work, which is, I think, very important. So you must be what's the word? I'm running out of words here, Ashley, about how you edit your own work. It's so difficult to do that. And that's why you show very little and it's all quite good. Sorry for rambling on here, but I am just looking for the words. You got like no junk. Everything is quite good. It's very clean. It's a word just popped into my head before we started is efficient. You're very efficient in how you frame everything, and they're also clean. Like I know you're not going to be able to answer this. How do you do that?
First of all, for my photo, I'm aiming to create a painterly look because I want my photo to be an art, not a photo. So I call myself photo artist because I want to express my thing. I want to question what things happen around. If you look at my photo, even it's a street photo, I don't look for just a visual. Basically, for my street photo, I feel the life is too complicated nowadays. I want my street photos to do the opposite. I want to make people smile. I want people to feel alive because the life is too organized and too neat. So I'm looking for the random moments that order break a little. I try to look for more than visual, look for meaning behind it. So I create the work based on what I feel and I try to make it like a painting. And for the meaning itself, I will not say what it's mean, but I will let the viewer look at it and feel it. For example, I have this short called Outdoor Closet. It's a girl standing beside a luxury show window. Beside her, there's a luggage open with lots of clothes. At the
Mhm.
show window, there's a lady in a poster with a jacket hang there. You see the contrast between the two, and I probably
Mhm.
let you imagine and think of the message, what I'm trying to say.
And that's just a random moment as you were walking by that
Yes,
store.
yes, definitely. If you look at my original photo, it's slanted.
It's,
I'm glad to know you're not perfect, Kantaya.
No,
yeah, I don't know.
cause like some random moment that I like for example, I just walked past three Spider-Man queuing up at McDonald's, which is I
Mhm.
think is
Yeah.
express everything very well.
Okay, I have to say, Kantaya, I feel like you've seen a disproportionate amount of Spider-Mans in your life. There's a lot of Spider-Mans
Yeah.
on your website.
Yes, and the Spider-Man are not perfect.
No, they're
That's
not.
true.
Maybe that's why you're
Yeah.
drawn to them.
Yes, that's right. Because, not everyone is perfect. Not everything is perfect.
No, well, nothing's perfect, obviously, but your work sure comes close, and you have to be very deliberate in how you however you post-process these color photos because it as I said before, it's just so consistent.
I control the color and the light, but I do not over process. I try to maintain the original stage so that it look natural.
It does.
I don't try to do the color grading in certain way because I feel that my message is from the photo itself, not from the colors.
Yeah, but the look is consistent among all the photos.
Thank you.
Maybe
Yeah.
you have a good eye, or maybe these strong colors draw you in. I don't know, on the street, because I feel like there's a lot of strong color in your photos, and it's really beautiful. Like, it's done so nicely.
Thank you. I'm
And
just bring up the natural color because if
Mhm.
you walk in Singapore, it's very colorful. Every corner is so colorful. So I'm just bring out the color in each corner.
Yeah, I'm curious about Singapore. I've never been there, but is it because you like your photos, like Bob was saying, they're very clean, and they do have a lot of times, almost kind of a minimalist feel to them. Is that
Mhm.
easy in Singapore, or is that a challenge?
Okay, for comparing to all the Southeast Asian country, I feel Singapore is the cleanest.
Yeah.
The law regulation here is really strict, so everything
Mm.
is clean, perfect. If you want to go for minimalism, but if you look for something that is very strict, something a lot of layers, probably not Singapore.
Mhm.
You can create layer here, but if you want something that is less clean, probably you have to go something like Thailand, India. It will be much easier.
Yeah, that
New
makes sense.
Yeah, New York, there's a good one.
Yes.
Wow, but, I guess, when I'm looking at your work, I'm try to think of descriptions and of your color. I hate to say color process, your color palette or whatever, but it's almost sort of pastel-like,
Yes, I try to
like
don't make it over saturated.
saturated. Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to control it because, just a bit of it's gone.
Yeah, it's true. It's easy to cross the line.
Yeah.
And
Yes, yes.
so I'm curious. I know I read on your website that it says you've lived in Bangkok, Tokyo, and Singapore.
Yes.
And it said something interesting there. It says that your way of seeing the world carries traces of each place
Mhm.
that you've lived. So I was just wondering, like, what have you learned from each of those places? What have you taken away, or what was your favorite thing about each of those places? And I don't know if maybe you've learned something that applies to photography from each different place or culture.
Well, photography, I started in Tokyo. I learned from Japanese in different way from what I learned here. Japanese, they are not so to me, when I started, if when you walk every corner, not every corner is colorful. Some is like dull, even their dressing is not as colorful as Southeast Asian country. So that's bring my color down, not so vibrant. Whereas I'm in Singapore, like my spec, very vibrant.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think it might balance here and there. But for Thailand, it's very colorful. To me, compared to Singapore, it's messy because
Mm.
you will see
Really?
the let's say like you walk along the street, the electrical wire is hanging everywhere, every corner. So you can connect the wire to human. So it's as if the human is fishing by something. Also, you can do a lot of things with that kind of connection. But here, impossible. It's too clean.
Mm.
I've heard that.
Do you think it's made you a better photographer in that you have to work a little harder to find scenes?
Honestly, when I first came back to Singapore, I find it's like, am I back into somewhere that is throwing me into a trial? Because in Japan, I felt it's so easy to find what to shoot. It's so that first of all, they have deep culture, so you can shoot someone that you can tell this is Japan. You come here, the country is like about less than 60 years, about 60 years. So it's like
Mm.
you don't have your own national costume, I feel, because when you ask someone what is Singapore's national costume, everyone said, Singapore Airline costume. Is like, this is not national costume.
The airline.
Yes, because Singapore is a mix of culture. Chinese,
Yeah.
Malay, India. So you ask what is Singapore national costume, I think it's quite hard to tell. So when you walk in the street, you cannot really tell this is Singapore unless you go to the landmark. So that is a big challenge.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. When I look through, sorry, I'm looking at your Singapore gallery right now or portfolio, and there's one photo that I just love it so much. Backstage, the women preparing for must be some type of a performance.
Chinese opera.
A Chinese opera. So they have this makeup
Yes.
that, I mean, it's the photograph. I mean, you just took a photograph of them, but with the makeup, it looks like they're not real people. They're almost
They're wearing masks.
cartoons. Yeah, it looks like they're wearing masks, but, of course, it's painted on with the makeup. But just the way you frame this and,
Yeah.
this must be a chaotic environment, people getting ready to go on stage, they're probably late, but what you chose to put within the frame is really something, especially with the little photograph in the lower left-hand corner. I don't know if it's a photograph or an
It's
iPad,
a mirror.
a
It's a
mirror. Oh, a
mirror.
mirror. Thank you.
She was
Yeah.
playing with her phone, so I shot her through the mirror.
Yeah. I love that her phone is right there too, so you can see what she's looking at.
Oh, that's
That
right.
is
I didn't
that is not a clean background, Kantaya. How did you find your way into that messy area? You were drawn to it. How did you get there?
I'm just drawn to them because they were playing with a phone, and actually I have another shot, but it's not very clear because they were looking at the lottery resort. It's too tiny, so I didn't use it.
Wow. I mean, how did you get backstage with them?
Okay, so it's a sad thing that's happened here. So if you go to this group, most of them are the elderly that is performing. There's only a few young people that were there. So they open the backstage for everyone, welcome everyone to shoot. They have a
Really?
regular performance. So if you are in Singapore and they happen to perform, you can shoot. They allow you because they want to promote this culture. I think it's really important because you need a young generation to continue this.
Yeah.
Sure. So they
Yeah.
just allowed you back there and
Yes.
you could go anywhere you wanted?
Yes. But they also have certain way of requesting. They don't want to look not so beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure they were happy with this photograph.
I hope so. I have not shown them yet.
I think so. I love it. I think they look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's such a cool one. That's a great tidbit if you're ever in Singapore to
Yeah.
check out the Chinese theater.
Yes. They're open to it. Most of them, they're open for you to shoot because they really need the next generation.
Oh, I hope it helps.
Yes. I hope so too.
Why are there so many Spider-Men? Is it a convention, like an Elvis convention?
No, it's not. It's not the convention. It's just like, I just love the concept of everyday hero. Hero is also a human.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people in costume in general, even not superhero.
Yes.
But like the women who are getting ready for the theater, but there's a guy in a chicken suit. Like there's a lot of costumes.
That one
Is that something you do on purpose?
no, it's just my photo is mostly go by instinct. The one in the chicken's costume is actually, if you look closer, is a mannequin. It's not human, but the
I
human,
thought it was an actual person.
the actual person is behind, is the chef behind.
Yeah. Okay. Those are some hyper realistic mannequins you guys have over there.
Yes, yes. I was told by a friend. She went to look for what I shot. She couldn't get the same thing. There was no chef behind. She went many times.
Only the chicken mannequin, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and-
do you have other friends that you go shooting with in Singapore?
I sometimes do join a photo walk with a local Singapore group when I have time.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, that it's quite fun to shoot with them. Like if you look at my photo, there's a dog drinking beer.
Mhm.
It's shot when I did photo walk with all the ladies here. It just happened. I
Okay.
just happened to see it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one is with the Leica finalist and a Fujifilm boy.
Yeah. At first I didn't, you said the dog drinking beer. I was like, oh, yeah. Then I remembered.
Yeah, some inspiration from Elliot.
I also love that photo, the long wait.
Oh, thank you.
It's just so bright. It just jumps out at you. It's hard
Yeah.
not to keep looking at it.
Yeah, I can see why that's on your homepage.
A long way is a photo of yellow chairs on a green carpet.
Yeah.
A man is like in his own dreamland, whereas a woman is on alert holding the phone. So it's like a joke during the COVID restriction because the chair are all separated because Singapore
Yeah.
was so strict. If you don't take social distance, $200.
Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
Yes.
They could have solved national debt with that over here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, really.
And another photo that I shot during COVID that I find is very funny is the T-Rex photo. There are mother and the girl wearing the mask. The girl wearing the mask painted with smile, whereas the father is posting like, I'm strong in front of the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
I'm trying to play around with the COVID time. Because if you don't wear the mask, $200.
Oof.
Wow.
But were you
Wow.
still allowed out and about?
Yeah.
Like you could still go out.
We could still go out, but you have to take social distance. They have a social distance ambassadors to go around hunting you for a few $100s.
Man, it makes for an expensive day.
Yeah.
That's funny. I haven't heard that term in a while. It seems so old-fashioned now, social distance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, for us, people still wearing masks here, even though
Yeah.
COVID is like not very hot topic now, but people still
Yeah.
concerned. So in Southeast Asian or even Japan, people are still wearing masks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, many people wearing masks in Japan when I was there.
Yeah, even here, when I shot the photo at the masks, I was asked by many people, the COVID ended, why are you still shooting masks? Come on, here not everyone, many people
Yeah.
are wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, when I
I know
first...
when.
Oh,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
No, when I first went to Asia, which was in 2005, in Beijing, everybody's wearing masks. Of course, it gets dusty there and
Yes.
pollution and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say. When we were in Vietnam,
Yes.
it
Yeah.
was the same. Most would wear for the air pollution. And if our friends from Vietnam caught us like walking down the street without a mask, they would get onto us and say, where's your mask? You're going to get sick. Quit. We have to wear a mask. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, it's something
Yeah.
like that. It's like not culture, but it's like something that you have to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I'd like to ask about is your contests. You've been in many, very important contests, and you've done quite well. What's your motivation for entering contests? What do you get out of it personally?
Well, I just wanted to understand myself better. What is my work style? So I enter into the contest to learn what is my style, what is can people understand me or people hear from me? And it seems that
Mm.
certain style will pick up, like a lot are surreal or funny, but I'm still learning how to understand my style. Every day we will develop different thing. Creativity emerge every day differently. So I just wanted to try what can I build next.
I think I see a lot of humor in your work, and I love that, especially hearing you talk about like your project, A Modern Day Affair, and how people reacted to that.
Yeah.
And I love that you've taken advantage of that, because I think if you can express something with humor, even something that's serious and important, it can really reach people a lot more deeply.
Thank you.
But something that drew me to your work is just, I felt like I looked at it and I was like, this lady is funny. She is so funny.
Thank you. It's actually for a modern day affair. It's actually my initial intention is to revenge my husband and the phone.
Did it work?
What do you think?
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
But I have to say, another one that made me think you are funny is Dare to Be You.
Oh.
Is that you in the suit?
No, it's my husband.
The husband strikes again.
Well, it's actually interesting because Dare to Be You, I use the Sentai suit. Sentai suit is the suit that cover from top to toe. So it's like you hiding in another world. So you can feel yourself that you become another person. So you can be anything. So you let yourself out of the expectation. So you can do things freely in a way. And it's also question yourself, what's his identity? That's why I trying to use this to use Sentai to express this. But I don't do in a normal way. I guess you understand because I like to play with juxtaposition. So I juxtapose with the environment and with the Sentai itself.
Well, your husband is a good sport.
Yeah.
So you
Did it
must have
take a lot of convincing?
Well, just spit and beat. Well, he get to eat the crabs.
Yeah. Oh, so he did eat the crab.
Yes.
Then, okay.
That was the reward at the end of the day. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the modern day affair. Have you entered that in any of the series? Oh yeah, never mind. I take that back. It's very clear on your website. Because I've judged a lot of contests, and many times you get to the series as a judge, it's a lot of work. You know, you may look at 100 of these, and you have to look at all the photos and the text that goes with it. And yours would really jump out at me if I was judging a contest and saw your work in it. It would really stand out.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, because you've been, lens culture, many. So, a couple in lens culture. Yeah, you've done really well with it. And I hope you keep doing these series because
Yes, I'm still doing.
they're really.
I'm actually because it's about my relationship, so I'm still exploring about our relationship. What we trying to figure out about our relationship. So from there, then I was trying to put something into the series. So it's still ongoing because I'm still
Oh, okay.
we're still exploring ourselves where we're heading to. But actually, what I feel from conceptual photography, I learned a lot, especially on composition. So I feel that when I go on the street, I have a better visions when I look at on the street. It's easier to capture the image after I start conceptual work. And it doesn't come like, oh, I think then it's like that. It just come naturally.
Training your eye.
Yes, yes. It's a way of training yourself.
I'm curious, Kantaya, how do you, what do the logistics look like when you're planning a conceptual series? How do you come up with the ideas? I mean, are you planning these frames out before you even pick up your camera? I've never worked on anything like this. I'm curious.
Okay, so conceptual work, like I told you, I have a few series. The first series, the Little Prince, is just come naturally. So the message, the concept came later because I found him first. I just want to focus on him. Whereas like a modern day affair or Dare to Be You, I start from message first. So I start from message and I construct the image. I can't draw, so I draw in my head. Yeah, then I just use a paper, use a triangle, square, draw. Man will use triangle, then I just put the man here and there, then I just construct roughly. Then I try to date, then so I craft it from there, then slowly shoot and reshoot and reshoot. That's why he said, when are you going to finish?
Yeah. I think every photographer has probably heard those words from their spouse.
Yeah, I guess so. But no one adverse at me, I guess, because I asked him to act and asked him to shoot.
This is a lot of quality time you spent together, see?
Yes, definitely. So that's why I'm trying to look how we progress from ourselves in the relationship first before we move forward on this series.
Yeah.
You just put so much thought into this. And your husband's a lucky guy.
Well, thanks to him, that's why I'm at this stage, because last time when I first start this photography, before I even start street photo, every weekend he would drop me out a few hundred kilometers just to catch the sunrise, because I was taking everything from landscape, flowers, animal,
sure.
everything. So he's really contributed a lot of things to my photography journey.
Yeah,
That's really
definitely.
nice.
You know, Dare to Be You. There's a photograph of him in that suit behind a sign. It says "beautiful" with the advertisement.
Yeah, thank you.
And did you know that sign was there and said, "I've got to take him over to pose like that
Yes.
behind it."
And it was at the station, so he changed that and everyone was looking at him and he said, "Faster!"
Tell him we appreciate his sacrifice because it is a great shot.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone said that is really good shot. And he said, "Faster!"
You know, you really have to take time to look at your photographs for them to reveal what they really are.
Yes.
And that's a very good thing. Obviously, the Spider-Man and all that, but in this series, you need to look closely.
Yeah, like I said, my photo, I'm not just going for the visual. I go for beyond the visual. I look for the meaning. So I just hope that the message that's inside each photo can be conveyed to the viewer. But what message? I leave it open.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
I'm still laughing about your husband saying faster because you're supposed to. The point of this series is that you're liberated. No one knows who you are.
Yeah.
You can stand behind the underwear sign. It's fine.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody will know. Yeah. So what? No, by the way, we're recording this in April and it's going to drop in July, but you've got a number of exhibitions coming up. And you said something about New York. You have something coming up in New York?
Yeah, just finished in yesterday with Women's
Oh.
Street Photographer New York annual exhibition. It just finished yesterday. Yesterday is 20th April.
Okay, April 20th.
Yeah.
420.
I love that photo that was in that exhibition as well with the girls and the fish. Such a
Thank
good
you.
photo.
Thank you.
You had that in the New York show. I love that one.
Thank you so much.
We've got to make sure we have a number of your photos in the along with the podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ashley? You're the boss.
Yeah. For sure.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that too. Yeah, because you selected that photo for last month, March.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, so we hesitantly brought back our Facebook group as a place to feel photos for our Street Shooters of the Month feature. And yours was the very first one we picked, Kantaya. We love that photo so much.
Thank
and
you.
so many of the photos you've contributed are
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So I'm glad you joined our group. We wouldn't have come across you, I don't think, if not for the group.
Yes.
So it has
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's fun to do street photo.
Yes, it is.
Well, to me, I feel the street is good because it gives you fun and give you a surprise.
Yes.
It's really, sometimes you just go out without thinking and you will get a lot of surprise. Even though it's not photography, sometimes you get new connection. The Little Prince photo, I get connect to the boy. And it's so fun experience after that.
Yeah. You're so creative, Kantaya. Like I'm backing up here, but did you do creative things before you did photography?
No, economic trends. I'm still working in the office
Really?
doing my accounting.
Well, then you must have had all this creativity just bottled up and now it's just come out and it's so beautiful.
Thank you. It just come by nature, no plan. Because like I told you, I had to go under the sun last time.
Well, I'm glad you discovered your creative side because you sure are doing a lot
Mhm.
with it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I enjoy a lot. Photography journey is something that I didn't imagine. I still continue. I still have passion on it. And I think that a lot of people also feel the same way. Even you, both of you too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back to one thing quickly before we go because I pointed it out earlier. You're very Spartan in what you show on your website. You don't have a lot, which to me is more powerful than having hundreds of photos.
Mhm.
And how do you edit your own work? Because I mean, everything you have on here is very good, and I'm sure you have to leave other good stuff on your computer and not not on the website. How do you make those decisions to pare it down like this? Is that easy for you, or is it very hard to put things aside? Or then again, are you always just switching things out? You only allow so many spaces, and you're always changing it.
You want to hear the truth? I'm lazy.
Yeah, no, I want you to lie to me.
Lazy.
Yeah, no, do both. No,
Yeah, because updating website is something is not easy.
no,
Uh,
Mm.
normally who see the photos on the website is not photographer. It's the curator. So you need
yeah,
to take a lot of time to choose the photo that brings something to them. And I have been updating regularly. I change the photo. I don't know how many times. Yeah. So I
Mm.
just choose what is feel me after filter out a lot of things.
'cause after a while, many of us get tired of looking at our own work. I don't know if
To me, I think it's very important to keep looking back at your own work because that is where you start
Mhm.
from, and you from there you look at it and you look through it so that you know the next step.
Do you throw things away? Do you just delete them, or do you keep everything and only pull
Uh,
out the best to show?
okay. Honestly, when I was in Japan, my hard disk crashed. So most of my photo in Japan gone.
Ooh,
Because that time I
Oh.
still not serious in my photography, just anyhow shoot. I didn't shoot. I just anyhow shoot. Most of photo gone. I didn't know how to back up. Only after a while, then I just learned how to back up. Yeah. So those photo are gone. But that's
Mm.
why everyone that talk to me, I always say it's important. Please back up your photo. It's your life.
oh yeah,
You're not gonna get it back.
yeah.
Mm.
No, they're just ones and zeros. So
Yes. And I went through many company that said that they can get back the photo. I tell you, you pay money, you get nothing back, mostly.
yeah, wow. So, do you have any new projects coming up?
New projects, I would say that I will still continue on my modern day affair.
Mhm.
And I'm still looking what to do with my street photo. I'm still trying to do soul searching myself, what I want to do with my street photo. So, recently, I just did some series using but I didn't put on the website because I'm still do my soul searching. I did the series about the heart-shaped balloon.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Yeah, I did it for the Valentine Day, but I shot it last year actually, not on Valentine.
Mm.
Yeah, it start from the balloon everywhere, then at the end the balloon is just hang somewhere all alone. No one cares. Yeah. So
I'm excited to see that.
thank
Yeah.
you. Please take a look. I hope you understand my message.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you for everybody, if you want to see her work, and I highly recommend it, I think it's a great thing to do. Instead of looking at other stuff on your phone, look at Kantaya's work. And her website is kantayanew.com. It's spelled KANTAYANEW.com. Nice to be able to get your own name as your domain name. And so where else can people find you? I know you're very active on Instagram.
Yes.
What's your Instagram handle?
Kantaya, KANTAYA underscore new and EW. Yeah, I'm quite active on my street. I have another account is Conceptual. That one I'm not so active. Yeah, but you can find the link from my street account if you want to take a look at my conceptual work.
Yep. Yep. And then let's see. And then of course, on her contact page on the website that tells you where her Instagrams are. So that's good. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Yeah, for everyone who's looking to do what you want to do with your photos, if you lost, just shoot.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time too, and thank you for a fun conversation. I hope you and everyone enjoy some of my funny things or some of crazy things that's happened with me.